Hey YouTube! The Sims 4 is such a huge game at this point that there are plenty of things players might not know. I'll mostly focus on the Sims 4 base game, but I invite you to watch and share your own tips for new players in the comments. We'll get on with it right away, but please do like this if it's helpful. The first thing I'll go over is somewhat of a secret. At specifically level 9, and I mean only level 9 of the mixology career, your sim can get a chance card that gives you the ability to make a special drink called Snaggle Fluster. When you pay 200 for the recipe, your sim will be able to craft the drink. It gives you the most powerful single skill boost in the game. While this one's kind of tedious to acquire and needs you to stay at one level until it pops up, you don't need anything special to make Amygdelight. This can be made with low-level mixology, but only when focused, and it is amazing for logic programming and rocket science while boosting all mental skills. It's super effective. By the way, if you save just before work, you can reload over and over until you get the Snaggle Fluster recipe. Just be sure you're rank 9. I covered this in a niche video, but since the developers removed ideal moods for careers, Energized became the best mood. All of the positive moods get the same boost, but while energized, your sim's energy will deplete slower. This means it has that extra oomph over the others that makes it better, so take a brisk shower before work or do something else to get your sim pumped up. Here's a thing not available at launch, which was a bit silly. This feature has a little more than meets the eye. You can eat Harvestables from your inventory since they added it in a patch, and boy are they great. You get varying degrees of emotional boosts from them based on the quality of the produce, from +1 to +3 happy, and it fills a little bit of hunger. Simply eat a normal, nice, and magnificent one to get all 3 buffs. Destacking is probably a bug, but given the volume of actually important bugs that need fixing, I'll be ticked if they fix it. While careers are great for making money, they can be highly variable. Gardening, painting, and writing are generally very solid moneymakers. You can do tons of different things to fund your sim's life, but these 3 are easy to pick up and will serve you well. You can even pair gardening with something else. Without seasons, just finding one uncommon or rare fruit with a decent value is enough to snowball into a massive income. I've yet to test it, but if you're a seasons owner, I think flower arranging is in the top 3 best money makers in the game, in particular when you make the high level arrangements. It only takes a little time and they regularly come out to 3,000, 4,000 simoleons. This can be boosted by the marketable reward trait. We'll get to something interesting about this in a moment, but there's actually a gourmet cooking skill in Sims 4, which is tucked behind the regular or homestyle cooking skill. It's natural that you need to know what you're doing to be a gourmet chef. Hitting level 5 in regular cooking will unlock this skill for you, which has a menu of much more complex dishes that give even better mood boosts. Something about gourmet cooking is when you make high-level meals with a competent chef and the food's excellent quality, then the sim will get an epic meal buff that lasts 6 hours and makes them +3 happy. What is more, this buff is actually super powerful. While it's active, it lowers hunger decay to only 20% of the normal rate. The buff is even better if you take Stoves and Grills Master from Outdoor Retreat. Use this to prep food for the week. You will only need this one group meal because of the awesome buff. Eating gourmet leftovers here. Bonus traits are established only at first sim creation in Create a Sim and based on the category of aspiration you choose. Pick a knowledge one to get a bonus to all skill gains, or take a creative aspiration to get Muser, a really powerful one that improves crafting artsy things when inspired. If you take an athletic bonus trait, you'll get high metabolism that will actually keep your sim's muscle meter from decaying below what you set and helps to curb weight gain. Since I made my Fat Sims video, it would appear a lot of players don't know that many foods, but not all, in The Sims 4 actually have calories. There is a fitness and fatness system. When they eat foods that contain calories, your sim puts on a little fat. It really doesn't take much, and every sim who eats a variety of foods will put on weight because there isn't a metabolism in the game. Eating that whole cake by yourself will fill the fat bar you can see when making a sim in cast by about 25%. Only cardiovascular exercise can fix it, as lifting weights doesn't burn calories. Nobody said Sims was realistic, but yeah, every minute on a treadmill or jogging will take away a tiny bit of fat. Being chunky has no negative impacts on your gameplay, except maybe more graphical clipping because of them being bigger. The game's muscle system will gradually decay your muscles unless your sim has high metabolism, which makes the minimum the starting level. So it locks in the lowest it can go. Skill gains are influenced a lot by emotions, and damn near everything in the game revolves around moods. It's really not worth trying to learn a skill while your sim's uncomfortable, but just about anything positive will do. While the developers removed ideal moods from careers, they still matter for skills, so you get a bigger boost from being in the best type for that skill. Under the hood, there are 4 categories of skill, and it helps to realize these so you'll always know the ideal mood. There's creative, social, mental, and physical. Creative are boosted by inspired, mental are focused, physical is energized, and social is confident in general. I think focused is the only category that'll trip you up, but gardening and handiness are mental skills that benefit from it, while mischief is actually a social skill. That one's the odd one out. Out of all the skills, it is actually boosted by a negative emotion, angry, but also playful or confident. In an homage to the beloved grilled cheese sandwich, Sims can make eating these their aspiration. If you eat 3 grilled cheese in a row, a sim will unlock the only hidden aspiration in the game. You can then switch to it and follow the steps to become a melt master. Completing this will let your sim summon a sandwich at will. Unfortunately, it's of normal quality, so it's not for food snobs. Every new player should realize that you don't need to get hung up on the aspiration choice at the main menu and should focus on the bonus trait you want. This is because aspirations can be changed at any time, unlike The Sims 3's lifetime wishes system. You can game this so much that it makes the game trivially easy though. But yeah, you can do programming, then switch to a cooking aspiration when you're making dinner that night, if you feel it's not too tedious, that is. It's obvious that having a pretty house helps a lot with how you feel, and it's true as well for Sims. When the room's clean and has nice objects in it, they'll get a little mood boost. Look to the build mode environment score. If it has one, it's boosting mood. Those listed at 1 or so aren't as useful, but the increases are exponential. Points for individual objects are hidden under the hood, but get enough high point items and you can get up to +3 happy while your sim's in that same room. You can decorate outdoors as well. Like with Amygdelight, you can do other things only while in a certain mood. If your sim's focused, they can make mathematical diagrams and other paintings that give emotional auras or bonuses to everyone in the room. Being energized lets you make a workout drink at the bar if you level fitness a bit. Other special unlocks relate to our next thing. When your sim's in a bad mood, certain interactions like cry into pillow or try to calm down can appear when you click on objects. Mirrors are used pretty frequently for this when embarrassed or hysterical. These will show the emotion they're connected to by color. If your sim does these things, you'll see that the timer on the bad moodlet decays much faster than usual. So these do actually help your sim to move past the bad mood, even grief. Since we've brought up gardening, let's also correct a mistake from early in my YouTube career. Fertilizing plants is entirely based upon the value of the object used to fertilize. 2 important breakpoints are 20 simoleons and 50 simoleons. Those are the top 2 best tiers of fertilizer. Something that costs 49 will do the same as something that is valued at 21. At 50, you've hit the cap. Anything excessively over 50 will do nothing more for you. So tree fish are awful fertilizer now because they're just too high to waste. Use this to your advantage and sell those fish in Harvestables that are way outside those 2 breakpoints. I got this one wrong with an early video because of old code left in the game that matched up pretty well with what I was finding. Now let's talk about lot traits. These sort of feel like cheating to me, but they're missable. They were added with the City Living expansion, but free to all players. You can add lot traits without spending any form of currency, so yeah, it feels cheaty and a bit of a missed opportunity to maybe build up a lot to make it better with value. But you can add these wonderful traits that boost specific types of skills, or maybe make it more likely your lot will be visited by vampires, or maybe boost the odds that your offspring will be a little bloodsucker. While lot traits are highly effective, the actual sim traits system has a very small impact on the game. It may make things harder at first, but you can overcome nearly everything. Some traits stand out a bit more than others, with loner getting stressed around groups of sims but having a much slower social decay. Music lovers get some nice abilities related to listening to music, and bros are always in a good mood when with other bros. Jealous is actually a trait added later that might be handy to your storytelling, as it has a bit more depth in terms of its handling of relationships. New players may not think of it, but many veterans actually take the time to set up a game world. You can establish who lives in the town with managed worlds, and remove the built-in households or add in your own sims. Since townies tend to be ugly, you can kind of improve the population while doing this. What's more, if you make a backup save game with this from day one, you can return to this town at any time and move in the sims you want to play. The game makes you create a sim to start a new game, but you don't need to play them. Just move them in and go to manage worlds. There are a few means of boosting emotions that are nearly OP. With the Spa Day game pack, you can use bathtubs to take a few types of bath that have really long lasting boosts, but cost only a little money. Outdoor Retreat presents cloud gazing or stargazing, where sims lie outside and look up for inspiration. This lasts 6 hours. For players with the base game, I love pondering chess moves, the shower, and mirror interactions to get in a specific mood. Then boost that with a happy buff from a quick bite of produce from my Sims inventory. I hate getting random calls sometimes in Sims 4, but it's possible to silence your Sims phone using the little button up top. It won't make the ringing noise, but you may still need to close it. Still, this is handy if you don't like the sudden noise and prefer never to socialize your sim with others in an attempt to replicate reality. While on the topic of the phone, we can also talk about the notebook, which lets you collect information about the game. You can learn about the types of fish and the bait they prefer, and more notably, the combinations of plants that will result from grafting by researching plants and going back to the notebook. Whims are this feature that's mostly sidelined. They do exist, they just haven't been developed by Maxis in a long time as far as I know. They're off by default, give smallest amounts of satisfaction, and let you kind of pursue what your sim wants when they don't want stupid things. As a plus, you'll generally get more satisfaction with them on. This is because occasionally you'll complete them by total accident. So you'll get more if you enable them, even if you don't bother to check what your sim wants to do. I myself didn't really realize that you can just drop a house from the gallery at any time onto your lot. It's a really great feature for us non-builders. You can use this to try out other players' houses, and don't forget rooms exist as well. But do realize that some have been made with cheats, and those with move objects that have a lot of things stacked can be poorly designed sometimes. I'm not knocking the builders here, but there are areas where the sim will say they can't move and you'll need to delete or move something to allow them to path there. This is fine and easy to fix, you just need to be aware of it in case the builder put form ahead of function. Gamers know this in general, but Sims can attract casual players. Do you use the O hotkey to go to the needs panel, I for inventory? Just about everyone uses 1 through 3 to control the game's speed, but changing the bottom right panels with a mouse can be tedious, and a lot of time can be saved by learning the keys for these. You can also use spacebar to change the current sim, or press period and comma to rotate objects. Some of you place, then rotate with the mouse. I know you do, because I used to. I'll just link to my hotkeys in the description because there are tons of them and they're great. If you play Sims longer term, you should definitely know how to back up your save game to preserve your Sim families. Simply head into your computer's documents folder, then go into Electronic Arts in The Sims 4. Now select the saves folder and right click or hit Ctrl C to copy. Now go to a different hard drive. The important part, and paste it. If you don't have another drive, you can use something like Google Drive to upload your zip save file and have it in another location that way. A copy on the same drive is generally useless because that's exactly what you're trying to avoid, the drive failing and you lose everything. But it can come in handy when it comes to save file corruption or something like that. With woodworking, your sim can actually make furniture. It's not immediately obvious, but you can purchase the woodworking table for $7.50 or so off the top of my head, and it'll allow your sim to make some decorative objects as well as bathtubs, tables, wall shelves, dining objects, and some other furniture. This is part of the handiness skill, so you'll also get to upgrade things. Something not immediately obvious is that when you have the needs panel open and a sim's low on something, you can actually click these little buttons by the meters. Doing this will make your sim search for a nearby way to solve that motive. The only one I find annoying is that when you click on energy, they'll often just take a nap, which isn't great. Still, it can save you a little time moving the camera around and clicking things, but they aren't always going to choose the best activity. Still, it's a lifesaver in multi-sim households. If things are hectic before work, worry not. Bladder and hunger in particular are optional if your sim's in a hurry. Sims can actually take care of themselves on company time. It's better to avoid this situation, but if they get in the red, they will fix it themselves and not have a bladder failure in front of everyone at work. Speaking of work, while your sim is there, you can click the little box up top left of their portrait to access a menu that lets you set work tone. This will give them bonuses in certain areas like lower work performance but regenerating social or leveling a skill. I'd say the most common is to just use work hard, which lowers fun a great deal but will increase work performance. It's good to pause just as the sim goes to work, as you can miss an hour or two of bonus if the game's on super speed. Don't bother with work hard if your meter's almost full. When it's full, you've got the promotion and there's no point in any further hard work. You can go back to work hard when you've got the promotion. Multitasking was touted as a new feature in Sims 4, and while it can be okay at times, it's not always a good idea. If you need to get something done, talking to other Sims will make it take longer. Sims can listen to music while painting or something stressful like programming to keep their fun need high. That's useful, and it's fairly effective to talk to Sims while enjoying a movie or something like that. It makes it take longer to eat or finish crafting something though. It's a bit random, but let's talk about a Sim's gender preference, fruitcake and handedness, things they're born with. I think I just invented a brand new sentence. You should know that all Sims are attracted to all other Sims in The Sims 4. There are no preferences. Everybody's potentially attracted to everybody. You do have a lot of control over gender, how Sims prefer to dress, how they use the toilet, and whether they can be impregnated or not and create a Sim. Two other things are determined when a Sim is first created. They can be right or left-handed, and they may or may not like fruitcake. When the welcome wagon comes, give the fruitcake a try and see if your Sim likes it. Liking fruitcake can be a big bonus for Sims. It never spoils, so it's a great food to carry around. You'll also get a happy boost when you eat it, along with any other food bonuses that come based on the quality of the fruitcake. Even better, there's a gourmet fruitcake that you can make that has even better bonuses. So give your fruitcake lover the best. Your Sims can save up to buy powerful reward traits, but I feel it's worth noting that the emotion potions and a lot of those single-use rewards are somewhat of a ripoff when you're a newcomer. The game gives you better ways to do a lot of those things, especially the boosts to emotion, and they don't last long enough for the price. Maybe in an emergency. Find other ways to boost emotion instead. Your Sim can prevent kitchen fires by not cooking hot foods while at low level cooking. Nobody ever set their house on fire making a freaking salad. Cooking hot meals is the main culprit of oven fires in Sims 4. Learning up to level 3 or so cooking, you'll see the rate drop a lot and more frequently get higher quality foods that give your Sims a little mood boost. Handiness, like cooking, is one of the only skills just about every household should have access to. By purchasing parts on the computer, you can upgrade plumbing once you've gained a few skill levels. Continue with it, and this will extend to kitchen appliances and electronics. Things can be made unbreakable or to be more effective. One of my favorites is the bidet, and it gives a happy boost for a clean butt every time you have a sit-down toilet session. Another makes your showers faster. Depending on the expansion and stuff packs you have installed, you may have access to some neat objects I covered in another video. Things like the Celestial Crystal Crown, bee boxes, and Patchy are in buy mode but not tied to any skills and thus fairly easy to overlook. I really wish I could say the same for the talking toilet from City Living, but it has an annoying tendency to make Sims go gawk at it despite its nice features. Well, that's actually what they're going to gawk at, but it's annoying. Children can get great bonuses if they complete childhood aspirations. They all give a permanent, lifelong skill boost in one of the 4 categories we discussed. If you have seasons, you can take this further by putting your child or teen in Scouts, which has a bonus to all skill gains. The strategy I do is to work on Scouts only a little in childhood, but go for it big time in the teen years since it can be harder to do all the childhood aspirations. Focus on what is most important to you. Okay. So that was a metric crap ton of loading screens to endure setting up these shots, but I had fun working on my editing skills in this one. I saw some tips pages on the web that just basically listed gameplay features without teaching anything, so I decided to one-up them. Let me know if I pulled it off and share or like it if you thought it was good. It really helps me grow. Thanks for your support as always, everyone, and have a great day. I guess I just want you all to be happy because I say that every time.